Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BLITZKRIEG, our own strategic affairs show. It's a cold morning here in Noida. It's been raining. Since past midnight, it's been raining cats and dogs. So the weather is cold. But there is something else that is happening in Pakistan. Something which is enough to generate heat. Recently, Pakistan bought J-10C fighter jets. And Pakistan has been buying air defense systems. Pakistan has been buying a lot of stuff that is for its armed forces. It's been buying a lot of weaponry for its armed forces. But Pakistan does not have the money to buy it. What is Pakistan giving to China in return? Because all these purchases, without exception, are all from China. And all of these weapons platforms have either been sold to Pakistan or similar countries who are in China's debt trap. So today I have a very interesting panel. We have Professor Madhav Nalapat here. He's strategic analyst and vice chairman, Manipal Advanced Research Group. Professor Nalapat, sir, a very warm welcome to the show. And I have Brigadier Syed Nazir, retired, Senior Associate Institute of Policy Studies, Islamabad. Brigadier Nazir, a very warm welcome to the show. And I'll let the brigadier from Pakistan have the first go. Brigadier Nazir, my question to you is, we did not hear of any build-up towards this buying of, a J-10C. There was no build-up, there was no discussion in the media. And when it was finally announced to the public, it was announced by Sheikh Rashid, who happens to be the Interior Minister of Pakistan. It was not done by the Air Chief, it was not done by the Defense Minister or the PMO. Now, he says 25 aircraft, fully loaded with everything. They cost between $35 to $40 million. 25 is almost $1 billion US. Now, Brigadier Nazir, my question to you is, sir, that $1 billion is the exact amount that you've been asking from the IMF. You're getting into this arms race against India. Can you afford it?
Thank you indeed. If I put the same question to you, that will India has purchased Rafale, and that is almost about the budget, defense budget of Pakistan. That is almost $11 billion. And 36 Rafale. Do you think that you can compete China with all the debts and all the starvation and all sort of poverty there in India, and the street people are sleeping and they've got no bathroom, up to the millions and millions of people. So this arm race in the region is necessitated or being augmented by the powers who say that they've got the hegemony in the region. And hegemony, well, you may be competing with China. You do so. But the way you are putting these arsenal on the border of Pakistan, where you have deployed your S-400, that is against Pakistan, where your armored divisions are there, they are against Pakistan, where your infantry is poised, all the formation against Pakistan, and where you are having the hot borders, that is with Pakistan in Kashmir, and where you have occupied the Kashmir. So naturally, one sort of 4 wars have been fought. So in this scenario, Pakistan, what can do? It can only respond so that the equilibrium or the balance, conventional balance, is not disturbed. Well, we are equal on the unconventional balance, rather better than. But on the conventional balance, we are supposed to get whatsoever is in our means and whatsoever we can afford. Your only budget of these 2 weapon systems, one Rafale, another is 400, is more than of 2 years of budget of defense budget of Pakistan. So more so that you have crossed Russia even in defense budget, almost $73 to $76 billion. You are third in the world. You are spending. From where this? Do you think that you can have a front war? Do you think that you people are, especially the Modi government, are railing their people where there is a great, you can say, dissatisfaction among the minorities due to the various laws being introduced? So naturally, the attention is diverted toward the borders. So you have got skirmishes and war with China, you have got wars with Pakistan, and you have got complete hegemony on Nepal and Bhutan and Sri Lanka. And you want to take Pakistan with their hegemony.
Okay, Brigadier Syed Nazir. All right, excellent, sir. Brigadier Sahib, allow me to go to the next panelist, please. Understood. Brigadier Sahib, you're repeating yourself, sir.
We may buy anything.
Brigadier Sahib, you're repeating yourself. Understood. Understood. Understood, sir.
Initiated by India.
Sir, understood. Okay, understood, sir. Understood. You've repeated yourself 3 times. Now, I'll make a few comments before I go to Professor Nalapat. Number one, sir, you're a senior officer of the Pakistan Army, retired. I would ask for a more robust geopolitics-based discussion, a national security-based discussions. All these things on toilets is not called for because you've apparently not been following India's news. I don't want to get into a slanging match with you, sir, saying you have less toilets, we have more toilets. So this is a serious discussion. Professor Nalapat is a known name and a known face in strategic affairs, and we called you to represent Pakistan. I would request you, sir, to keep it to geopolitics and national security, sir. Right, sir? Okay. There is no point. Minorities in India, you get into minorities in India, then I'll say that 24% were there before partition. How many minorities are there? So this tutu mema does not help anybody. So this is a serious discussion, and this is my humble request to you, sir. Let's keep it professional, sir. Professor Nalapat, my question to you is, Brigadier Said Nazir mentioned that, India has bought so many weapons, and India is ramping up its weapon systems, and Pakistan has to keep pace. He spoke about parity. Do you think there can be any parity at all? Because parity is directly related to the economy of the country. I just want to ask you one question, sir. My question to you, Professor Nalapat, is this. Please hear me out, sir. My question is that what is Pakistan giving to China? Because all these systems that it's buying are from China. What is it giving? Because it's not giving dollars to China. It does not have dollars to give. What do you think it is giving China?
Look, the Brigadier has given a very cogent presentation of the military-centric point of view. Now, the problem is that in any country, the military is one aspect of the total economy, society, etc., etc., etc. And if policy decided exclusively from the point of view of a single segment, well, then you have a problem in distributing your policies and priorities across different segments. So far as Pakistan is concerned, I think the Brigadier will have no argument with my view that it is now completely an ally of China. And given the fact that you have a Cold War between the United States and China, I think it's not rocket science that Pakistan has chosen China for whatever reason. Now, from that point of view, this purchase of this 25 China-made J-10C fighter jets, whether the payment is made in dollars or the payment is made in some other form, for example, helping China in intelligence, helping China in some military operations. Well, the reality is that the Pakistan military, they understand the importance of air power, which I'm sorry to say, some politicians in India did not understand, and they constrained the military in air power, including in the 62 conflict with China. So they understand the importance of air power, and that is presumably why they are beefing up their air power. Now, I would only like to say that in my opinion, and I've said this multiple times, including to our Pakistani friends, that look, India has no designs on any territory in Pakistan. We have only would like to take back the territory that belongs to us, that portion of J&K, which unfortunately, because of a premature ceasefire, was lost. Otherwise, there is absolutely no desire on the part of India to take 1 square millimeter of territory from anywhere in Pakistan. So why this kind of weapon systems? And if you look at the percentage, if you look at the proportion of the military budget in Pakistan is significantly higher than the proportion of total budget in India.
No,
the reason
absolutely.
Is Pakistan, no, I'm sorry, just one point. The Pakistan is buying these essentially for a defense against an Indian response should they join China in some aggression. Should the Chinese indulge in aggression against India, Pakistan is basically will have to participate in that because today it is very close to China and they are looking at a kind of defense from this attack. it's a kind of a preemptive defense. But the reality is there is no threat from India to the territory of Pakistan.
Oh, right, sir. Right. Okay. We've heard you, sir. Now I'll go back to Brigadier Syed Nazir. And sir, I want to ask you, like PNS Tugril. Now this costs approximately 300 million to 350 million US dollars. The VT-4 battle tanks, HQ-9 SAM systems, the JF-17 Thunder, the new orders placed, in 2019, and we're also talking about the JC-10, J-10C. I beg your pardon, sir. I'm sorry, J-10C fighter jets. Now, what Pakistan buys is Pakistan's business. We cannot tell India cannot tell Pakistan, you buy this, you don't buy this. This is Pakistan's internal matter. I have two questions, sir, and I would request you to limit your answers to 2.5 minutes, sir. We have a certain time frame in which we are taking this forward. My first question to you, Brigadier Syed Nazir, is where is this money coming from? Number one. And number two, most importantly, why are you buying only from China? Pakistanis love to say Russia hamara bhai hai, Rus hamara bhai hai. But why are all these systems that you're buying only from China? And China is famous for no free lunches. So China does not give any free lunches. Where is this money coming from? Are you paying in some other currency? If not dollars, when I say currency, I don't mean rupees. They will not accept Pakistani rupees. What I'm saying is that are you paying in kind? Are you paying in some other method or methodology?
Well, I have just understood your second question because the first question I couldn't hear. There was some distortion. Anyhow, replying to the Chinese factor. With China, of course, is the neighbor of Pakistan as well as of India. And more social relations with China, though there was a Hindu-China bye-bye, but once you have got that 62 war and then this line of actual control and all those skirmishes. So somehow or the other, China has now more, you can say, stakes in Pakistan for the reason that it has got the vision of connectivity. And that connectivity has been provided by Pakistan to the hot waters where the oil reservoirs is there. So the interest of both the countries coincide. That is one. Second thing is that China is also having that sort of problems with India. And so we are having that Kashmir problem if they are having their Ladakh problem in other Himachal Pradesh and other places. The third thing is that if India has put its stakes or its eggs in the American baskets, and in the regional scenario, there is a Cold War between America and China. And on that, US is investing heavily in India, especially in the arms as well as in the BECA agreement and other defense-oriented agreements, and naturally the nuclear agreement which took place. So all these things are pointing towards that India is becoming a bulwark against China. So that may be the China-India factor. But where Pakistan is figured out that Pakistan economically and on the defense front, as well as on the trade, is more connected to China, though India is also, but not on the defense and not on the weapons. So naturally, every country, as India is purchased previously, they used
okay.
But those inventory 70%.
All right.
So now they are
understood.
America.
Brigadier Syed Nazir.
To purchase it.
Just hold on, sir. Brigadier Syed Nazir. I've understood, sir. Brigadier Syed Nazir, what I'm trying to ask you is that, and I'll give you 30 seconds to answer, then I'll go to Professor Madhav Nalapat. You said that India has put all its eggs in the American basket. So I don't understand which was the last big defense transaction India did with America. We bought the Rafales from France. We bought the S-400 from Russia. We bought a whole lot of equipment from Israel. We are buying from other countries as well. We have not given any big ticket item. I mean, a few Chinooks here and there, right? A few transport aircrafts here and there, fine. But those are like small purchases of 1 or 2 billion, 3 billion. That's one. It's like these are not big ticket items. So why would you say that India has put all its eggs in the American basket? What is your logic for saying it? 30 seconds, and then I'll go to Professor Nalapat.
for the reason that they've got that nuclear agreement, that is one, and they've been given rather waivers against the nuclear proliferation, which was eased by the American Congress and their leadership. One. Second thing is that the big agreement, that is the operability of all the three services. And that is against China as well as Pakistan, because the real-time information will be shared between the two countries, and that is defense-oriented. So that is the big agreement as far as the skies, the cyber war, as well as the communication is concerned. And more so, the logistics, which is supposed to be provided to the American, that may be the bases or that may be the seaports. So that's why I say that the American are looking towards India on two fronts. Number one is a China factor, that is the bulwark. And second thing is that it is the big market, so they can sell their equipment and things which is
right.
And in this region, it is the only lodging place beside South Korea.
Okay.
And of course,
understood. Understood.
So once we see all these equations, so naturally the orientation is defense orientation.
Brigadier Said Nazir, sir, I specifically requested you a 30-second answer, sir. I would request you, sir, once again, very humbly request you to stick to the timeline, sir. It's a very short show. I have Professor Nalapat, to whom I'm going next, sir. My question is the same. I asked the question to Brigadier Nazir and he did not answer. Where is this money coming from? Because every single day, somebody in Pakistan will go on media and say that we are broke, we are bankrupt, we don't have any money. So fine, if they want to buy weapons, it's all right, sir. We are nobody to tell Pakistan that you buy or not buy. All I'm interested in is where is this money coming from? Because they're obviously not paying China in dollars.
That's something which you will have to ask the finance minister of Pakistan, the chief of the Pakistan military, and their counterparts in China. I only want to point out, India has problems with only two countries. And that the reason is both countries claim Indian territory as their own in maps and in action. Now, for example, the One China policy. I'm surprised that so many Indians say, oh, we believe in the One China policy. One China is, the Chinese definition of One China is that Arunachal is part of China, large parts of Ladakh are part of China, Sikkim is part of China. How can you accept a One China policy? In the same way, we cannot accept that just because Kashmir has a majority Muslim population, they have about 4.5 million Muslims out of 200 million Muslims in India, that just 4.5 million out of 200 million Muslims, on the basis of religion, you cannot have a division because we do not accept the two-nation theory that Hindus and Muslims separate. So this is the fundamental difference between India and two of its neighbors. So I'd only like to say very, very clearly that Pakistan has taken sides with China. In fact, that began during the time of the Bhuttos, long back in the 1970s, in the 1960s as well. But the reality is that, in my view, and I'm speaking as a friend of the Pakistan people, their fault lines will be emerging in that. For one thing, China is not like the Americans. They will charge interest of one form or the other on their money. And secondly, the kind of activities that they are doing, it benefits only a small section of society.
Professor Nalapat,
other sections aren't happy.
Yes. Professor Nalapat, sir, I'll very quickly go to Brigadier Said Nazir. I'm running out of time on this show. Brigadier Nazir, my question to you is again what I asked Professor Nalapat, and I've not got an answer till now. Where is this money coming from, sir? Where is this money coming from?
This question you are asking again, but it is too simple to reply, and probably not the stature, for the reason that it is between two sovereign countries, and they agree on the form of or the mode of transfer of the money, or in kind, or in cash, or in trade, or in aid.
For example,
so many forms it can come.
Right, sir, right. Brigadier Nazir, okay, absolutely, it hardly matters, sir. Okay, I will not ask you where the money is coming from. None of my business. I'm an Indian, sir. Pakistan sovereign business. let me rephrase this question, sir. All right, let me rephrase this question. The price of 36 Rafales, close to 10 billion US dollars. What is the price of these 25 aircraft that you're purchasing, sir? I'm not asking where the money came from. I'm just asking what is the price, or what is the cost?
Actually, Pakistan has got the JF-17, and it is a mutually agreed sort of project which is being built in Pakistan.
So what is the cost, sir? I'm just asking. Iski कीमत कितनी है, sir?
As well. 126 you wanted to purchase and then came to 36.
Sir, I am asking you again, sir. Brigadier Nazir, sir. Sir, I am asking you again and again. What is the cost of this, sir? 25. कितने के लिए आपने 25 यहाँ से? कितने, sir? Let me be very blunt about it.
Those figures are not known to me. Once it is revealed that what sort of deal has been done, it is just in the initial phase. It is just the story has been broken. Otherwise, all the details will come.
No, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I'm sorry, Brigadier Sir Nazir. Just hold on, sir. Please hold on. Sir, it is not in the initial stage. Your Home Minister has gone on record, Sheikh Rashid, and said that in the month of March, they'll be part of a military parade. Sir, you're talking about fighter aircraft, sir. We're not talking about a pot of biryani. Ki 2 ghante mein taiyar ho jati hai. You're talking about fighter jets. 25 fighter jets don't come out of thin air. I am closing the program, sir. The last word, sir. The last word I'll give to Professor Nalapat. Brigadier Sir Nazir, sir, please. My specific question to you, Professor Nalapat, is this. You see, where the money is coming from, okay, it's none of our business, where it's coming from. Why should we ask where it's coming from? That is for Pakistan. But how much does it cost? Because in India, whether you buy an S-400, everybody knows it's $5.5 billion. It's there on the website of the Ministry of External Affairs. It's there in public domain. But even that PNS Turgil, that warship that they bought, you see, nobody's declaring the price of anything. Nobody knows the cost. This seems to be like another China-Pakistan economic corridor, sir.
Look, Gaurav, I only want to say India wants a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. That is the foundation for Indian strategic activities in the Indo-Pacific. And the Brigadier was talking in terms of hegemony. Well, I'd like to point out 2 things. One, that good relations with India, commercial, people to people, are absolutely essential for any country in South Asia to develop at a high rate of growth. Absolutely essential. Whether it is Pakistan or any other country, you will hold back your development. And so this is the point I'd like to say, that it is important for us to have. But China is now seeking hegemony over the Indo-Pacific, over the Eurasian landmass. So I'm sorry, the US is yesterday's story. Today's story is China.
Yes. Thank you very much, viewers, for watching this lovely discussion between Brigadier Sir Nazir and Professor Nalapat. And we'll be back again next week in another edition, another episode of Blitzkrieg. Till then, from my team and I, Jai Hind.
Okay, thank you.